Hey guys, today we are solving the problem statement Bytelandian gold coins. It's on CodeChef with the problem code coins. So let's get started. Um, Bytelandian coin has an integer number written on. Okay, okay, yeah. So basically, the Bytelandian coin can be converted to either a Bytelandian coin of n by 2, n by 3, n by 4, or directly to the American dollars of value n. What we have to do is we have to maximize the American dollars which we can get. Okay, and let's see the constraint. So the input is several test cases. Each test case, okay, the value is about 10 to the 9 maximum. So we definitely need to look for a better solution than a linear one. Okay, and output contains. Got it. Okay, so let's get started. So I am using the template like which I have on GitHub. I will post the link for that. These are public, so feel free to copy if you need to. So the quickest solution which I can think of, let me update the input type to suit our use case. So int n int is equal to 0 while uh, n yeah. So TC and all this is just for my debug purposes. You can skip that. So the solution which I can think of is this is kind of a recursion, like a common dynamic programming solution. So DP, let's say getCoins is the method. So getCoins should be maximum of either the value n or getCoins of n by 2 plus getCoins of n by 3 plus getCoins of n by 4. Yeah, I don't see there is any issue with this solution. The solution should be about log square of log of n. We will come to analysis later on, and yeah, that should be pretty much it. Base case should be for n equal to 0, return 0. So let's try implementing this. I think we would need a map because uh, the like we would not be going with the we would actually be going with the top-down approach. We would need to skip for all the values for which we are not interested in. Only this will make our solution logarithmic. So dp in 64 get coins int n if n equal to if n equal to 0 return 0 if dp contains n then return the memory which was memoized. So this is a basic concept of memoization. If the value is already is stored in the map, just return the value from there. Otherwise, store a new value. So int answer, let's say this is equal to n. So answer is equal to max of answer, either the exact value or get coins of n by 2 plus get coins of n by 3 plus get coins of n by 4. Uh, dp of n is equal to answer, return answer. We can do it in the same step. Let's use 2 so that it feels more used to. Okay, this was just recursion what we were using. We can skip that. So we have to simply say cout get coins of n. I think the solution should be good enough. Let's test it out. Is input. Let me add the extreme conditions as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Along with that, let me add base conditions as well. Yep, seems about right. So again, this is just my change in the like my template, so that this takes the input from this file and prints output on the console itself. Let's execute it. Yeah. So as you can see, the final solution seems to be greater than overall int value. So yeah, it's about the right choice to take in 64. 864 is nothing but long, and B seems about right as well. Okay, that's sounds good. Now, two questions which we have remaining. So let me try actually submitting the solution, and then we can come back for the analysis purposes, so that people who are just into the solution can actually drop off. I think I have already submitted the solution before. In fact, I did one just before, but there was some glitches with the videos. Yeah. Anyways, submit solution. Okay, let's check the queue. Great. So it's a correct answer. So yeah, that's pretty much it about the solution. Let's focus on the analysis now. In an ideal scenario, you would want to do this analysis prior. Reason being, for analysis, like many of the competitive contests, be it Code Jam, be it Hacker Cup and all, they do give penalties on wrong submissions. So it's generally a good idea to spend maybe just like a couple of seconds, up to a minute or two, to try to figure out the overall analysis, as in whether the solution would actually be TLE or not, so that it will even give you some confidence. Along with that, save time in the long run. So yeah. So basically, the question over here is, how was I confident? Like, what is the overall time complexity for this solution? I actually said that this was square of log n. Actually, it will even be less than that. Let's see what is happening. So let us say, like, so let me actually just do it over here itself. So let us say, while trying to solve, let's take the worst case, n is equal to 1e9. 1e9 is basically 10 to 9, that's it. So what would happen is, while trying to solve for n, we would try to calculate values for n by 2, n by 3, n by 4, right? Now, while trying to solve for n by 2, it will again call for n by 4, similarly by 3, that is n by 6, and n by 8, and so on. So we kind of see a pattern over here, that is, for a particular value of n, we will definitely be figuring out all the the values for the all the stages where n is value obtained by dividing it by 2. So for example, we will be solving for n by 2, n by 4, n by 8, n by 16, and so on. So this would cover up values like n by 2, n by 4, and correspondingly, but it does not cover all the terms which might have been generated from here directly, or from n by 2 when we would have reached n by 6 indirectly. So let's see what is happening over here. So along with this, it would have generated value like n by 3. Uh, while trying to find value for n by 3, we would have actually tried to find values for n by 6. Again, there will be n by 9. Let me skip that. And the reason being, I want to show that we will definitely be, so n by 6, n by 12. Similarly, while solving for n by 6, we'll definitely need to resolve for n by 12 and n by 24. That means for n by 3, again, we end up definitely solving values which are like half, which would be obtained by dividing this value by some power of 2. So n by 6, n by 12, n by 24, and so on. Along with that, we will get a value of n by 9 as well. Um, so, like again, like if we look a little closely over here, what would happen is like n by 9, we would end up solving for n by 18, n by 36, and we would again get a value of n by 27. That means the number of steps which we have, uh, I'm calling this as a single step. So number of steps which you have would be order of log of n to the base 3, and for each step it will be at max log of n to the base 2. I'm saying at max because this won't really be of log of n to the base 2, but it will be log of n by 3 to the base 2 and so on. So there might be some constant factors. Let's take the upper bound, which will be log of n to the base 2. Now, the question might arise that what would happen for these values, like as in for n by 2 or n by 3. So think about it this way, like from a generic point of view, for any n, we would need to solve for the values where we are dividing it by some number, and that number is generated either by dividing it by 2, by 3, or by 4. That means either dividing by some power of 2 or some power of 3. That means even in the worst case, we would need to explore all the values for n when we divide n by all the different powers, all the different combinations of power 2 and power 3, which again would lead us to the solution of, for 3 we would have log n to the base 3 different values, and for 2 we would have log n to the base 2 different values. So even if you multiply, that will be our maximum limit. So log of, let's say 1, yeah. So to the base 3 actually comes out to be about 19, and log n to the base 2 will actually be 30. So 19 into 30. So we should definitely have less than 570 steps overall, even for the worst case, which is 10 raised to 9. So overall, we had just 10 test cases. I guess it was 10. Yeah, not more than 10. So the worst case solution is just like 5,700 order of something like that. I usually for coaches for 3, especially for 3 seconds, we should be good even about like 10 or 7 solutions. So this should definitely be good enough, and we can actually figure out how many steps were there for our worst case. So let me just rerun the solution, and along with printing this, I will actually be printing the size of the map as well. dp.size and play. Yeah, so if you see, this is like just 241 different stages which we needed to calculate, and that's way less than what we actually thought of as the upper limit. So yeah, that's it for the analysis. Thank you guys. Hope to see you in the next video.